In this video, we're going to address the topic of the top 3 unethical ways that you can use AI as a pastor. All right, so let's just get the easy one out of the way first. Writing sermons. I think we can all agree that when it's Saturday night and it's like, man, I still don't have that sermon done, just go into AI and being like, hey, generate me a sermon on Romans chapter 5, and, hitting submit. And then turning around and preaching that sermon is an unethical use. All right, so let's take that easy one out of the way. Number 2 is replacing listening to the Spirit with AI. All right, this also sounds obvious, but it's an easy trap to fall into. Here's the deal is that AI is just fast. You can sit down and you can be like, man, I need some advice, I need some counsel, I need wisdom, whatever. Put in your topic, and within seconds, you have this long answer of here's what you need to do. Here's how you need to think through it. So AI is incredibly fast. Now, I'm not saying the Spirit can't use that. I'm not going to try and box in the Holy Spirit and say the Holy Spirit can never use those words that the machine has put out onto your screen in a way to illuminate you. But what I will say is that the act of listening and the act of discernment are often very slow and inefficient. And AI isn't. AI is just fast. And so if we're never actually slowing down and listening to the Spirit, if we're never actually reflecting on the words that come onto the screen, if we're not actually doing the work of discernment, which isn't just always personal discernment, but often discernment within a community of believers, then we've replaced listening to the Spirit with AI. All right, the third unethical way that we can use AI as pastors is just a lack of transparency. All right, the world is getting a little weird with AI, right? We don't always know what's real and what's not real anymore. The videos that they can generate, the images that can be generated are still pretty amazing and mind-blowing and very difficult to tell. Is this real or is this AI? And as these systems get better and better and better, that's going to get harder and harder and harder. And so our congregations deserve to have transparency and honesty from us in terms of how we are using these AI systems. I can give you one real easy example is that there was a pastor who, with a good intention and a good heart was like, I want to reach my congregation better, had lots of languages spoken within that congregation. And so took the English spoken word from his sermon and used an AI system to manipulate the video and translate it into another language, made it look like he was preaching in this other language. And then during the week, that parishioner who had watched it saw him on the street and started speaking that language to the pastor, who then had to admit oh, I actually don't speak your language, I just used AI. That actually really felt pretty bad, to that parishioner who felt like their pastor was deceiving them, trying to be something that they're not really are. Again, I'm not saying that use of the technology is wrong. What's wrong is not being transparent about how we're using it and saying in a disclaimer way, this isn't me, this is AI that's translating this video for you. So those are 3 ways that as a pastor, you can really use AI in unethical ways. We hope that you'll join in on this conversation. Definitely jump into the comments and let us know what you think. If you liked these videos, hit subscribe. We're going to be having more of these conversations where we dive into the use of AI in the church and what's the ethical ways to do it. And we'll also kind of unpack some theology along the way and how our theology can inform the use of our technology. So if you've liked it, subscribe and join us next time as we dive into another topic.